"The king is dead."
The words echoed through the palace. A wounded soldier stood before the queen. His head bowed, his voice trembled. "Your Majesty, we couldn't save him." For a moment, time stood still. Tears filled her eyes. She had just lost her husband. But there was no time to grieve. The enemy was at the gates. At any moment, they would storm the palace. She looked at her young daughter, then at the frightened faces around her. Everyone was waiting for their queen. In that moment, she looked at her people and said, "The battle is not over. Today we leave, so that one day we can return." Years earlier, Velu Nachiyar had married King Muthu Vadukanatha Thevar, the ruler of the kingdom of Sivaganga. But she wasn't an ordinary queen. Since childhood, she had been trained like a warrior. She mastered the sword, horse riding, archery, and martial arts. She was known not only for her courage, but also for her intelligence. Now, with the king gone, the responsibility of an entire kingdom rested on her shoulders. And she never stepped back from it. She knew her people needed a leader, not another martyr. So, with her young daughter and a handful of loyal soldiers, Rani Velu Nachiyar left the fort under the cover of darkness. As the queen left the fort, the British captured the kingdom of Sivaganga. They believed the war was over. But deep inside the forests, Rani Velu Nachiyar began planning her return. She gathered her loyal soldiers, trained a new army, built powerful alliances, studied the enemy's every move. Year after year, she prepared for the day she would take back her kingdom. Then, one meeting changed everything. She met Hyder Ali, the ruler of Mysore. The queen needed more than courage. She needed an army. She sought help from Hyder Ali, the ruler of Mysore. Impressed by her determination, he stood by her side. He gave her soldiers weapons and support. With new strength, Rani rebuilt her army. She trained brave women alongside men. Soon, she had one of India's first women's armies. Leading them was a fearless warrior named Kuyili. She wasn't just a soldier. She was the commander of the Queen's Women's Army. She was fiercely loyal. For Kuyili, the Queen wasn't just her ruler. She was someone worth giving everything for. Together, they trained, prepared, and waited for the day they would take back Sivaganga. Finally, that day had come. As the army marched towards Sivaganga, they faced one final obstacle. The British had stored their guns, gunpowder, and ammunition inside a heavily guarded armory. Without destroying it, victory was impossible. One warrior stepped forward. Her name was Kuyili. She looked at her queen and said, Let me fight this battle my way. She covered herself with oil, walked towards the British armory. Then she lit herself on fire and charged straight into the ammunition store. Within moments, a massive explosion shook the entire fort. The British lost their weapons. Kuyili gave her life, but she had opened the door for her queen to reclaim her kingdom. The battle was over. Sivaganga was free once again. Rani had kept the promise she made the day she left her kingdom. She had returned, not just to reclaim her throne, but to restore hope to her people. Even today, she is remembered not just as a queen, but as a symbol of fearless leadership. A true leader doesn't abandon their people. They return for them